Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, obviously after Anthony Yarde lost to Lyndon, and that was his second loss on his career, but it represented more than that. The two times that he has stepped up to a higher level, he has come unstuck. So obviously that is going to be garnering some questions from fans and those inside boxing. The questions were, does he stay with Tunde Ajayi, or does he move it to a new trainer? Is that what he needs at this point in his career? Well, as it stands now, he said that Tunde Ajayi is his manager, he is his trainer, and he's done a fantastic job. So he's not necessarily going to make a decision just yet, but changes need to happen. This is what Anthony Yarde had to say about this situation. As it stands now, Tunde is my manager, Tunde is my trainer. We've done a fantastic job, but change needs to happen. There's going to be a lot of thinking, a lot of discussions. I won't say if I'm going to leave Tunde. I won't say if I'm going to stay with Tunde. So that is what Anthony Yarde has had to say, and that is very interesting. He's refusing to confirm or deny whether he will leave or stay with Tunde Ajayi. Now I think that the best question that we can ask is, what does Tunde do for Anthony Yarde now? Where does he take him from here? Can he teach him anything more that he needs to know? Can he take him to a place where he can win a world title? Because he was close in that fight with Kovalev. He was losing the rounds, but he was in there. So Anthony Yarde is good enough to be at that level. It is just, does he have those behind him that can take him to that level? Now, that could sound disrespectful to Tunde considering what he's done for Anthony Yarde. Obviously, not just with regards to the training, but being there for him as well, being a friend alongside him, and helping build his profile, because let's remember, Tunde Ajayi can talk, he can do it very well, and that has benefited Anthony Yarde and his profile somewhat, being a manager obviously. But there are certain improvements that need to be made for Anthony Yarde. I think that he's got all of the basics there. There are things he needs to tighten up on, and a new trainer would teach him that. The question is though, should he move from Tunde when he's got that kind of relationship with him, where he can sort of click with him? Well, he could find that with another trainer. There are plenty of them out there. I mean, Dave Coldwell is a brilliant trainer. There are others like, say, Mark Tibbs and other trainers like that who would be willing to take on Anthony Yarde. I know it sounds like, would they be willing? Would they not? Yes, they definitely would be willing to take on someone like Anthony Yarde, considering where he's gone to. Yes, he's come unstuck, but I think that they would believe they can take him to that place because they know he's good enough. So a trainer like that would be more than happy to take on someone like Anthony Yarde, because as I said, they can take him beyond that final hurdle and get him to the world stage once again, and hopefully this time he can get the victory. Now, I don't want to just talk about him leaving Tunde and that is what he should do. I think that there needs to be a conversation between the two of them, which there will be because they are close anyway, but dialogue is the most important thing at this stage. Does he bring on maybe a trainer to help out Tunde, or maybe Tunde is still part of that makeup? Although I don't really see Tunde doing that. He's not going to be second to anyone in the corner with Anthony Yarde. So if he's there, he will be the head coach of Anthony Yarde. But I do think that that is a very interesting approach, and that is what Anthony Joshua done after he lost to Andy Ruiz. He didn't remove Rob McCracken because that's his trainer. That's the guy he clicks with the best. And Anthony Joshua didn't necessarily think, okay, I need to move on. He thought, let's get someone else in. And that is what they've done. Could that be beneficial to Anthony Yarde? Well, I would say yes, but the problem is that Tunde has his own way of doing things. They have a different kind of style of training. I don't see anyone coming in and joining that mold, that makeup, because they're going to want to do things in a traditional way or do things completely differently to how he does it. Are they going to want to go in there and adapt to what he does and add things here and there? I don't think so. If someone is going to work with Anthony Yarde, they're going to want to do it their own way, unless it is an up-and-coming trainer that they bring in to the corner. Then you have to wonder, is the problem resolved? Because in that corner, what Anthony Yarde needs is experience. You cannot buy experience. They struggled in that Sergey Kovalev fight. One thing that stood out for me was, Anthony, empty the tank. That is not the best thing to say to a fighter in there with a world-level operator like Sergey Kovalev. The best thing to do in that situation, which is of course easy for someone on the outside to say, but the best thing to do in that situation is remain calm. Pick your shots, break down the opponent, remain calm, look for the shots that work. Don't go in there and empty the tank. Go to the body. That is what Sergey Kovalev is struggling with. So go down to the body, then bring it up to the head. Go to the body, whip in those uppercuts, because obviously as his body drops, his head will come down, and that will leave him susceptible to the uppercut, something like that. That's not what he got. They got frantic, they lost their shape. They were just as excited as Anthony Yarde in there. That is not the way it should be. The corner should be calm, collected, under that kind of pressure. And yes, I talk about pressure when it was Sergey Kovalev who was almost stopped in that round. His trainer, Buddy McGirt, even said, "Take any more shots like that, I'm pulling you out." So he was close. In that situation, there is a lot of pressure on Sergey Kovalev to survive and regain his composure. There is also a lot of pressure on Anthony Yarde because he is the one who's got him to that position. He is moments away from lifting that world title. These are the most important moments of his career. So at that point, having lost a majority of the rounds but going back to the corner, having hurt Sergey Kovalev, a champion, who he can get out of there in the next round as long as he remains composed and he sticks to what he does well and finds the things that Sergey Kovalev was struggling with, like the body shots, like getting close to him, landing short, powerful shots. That is what Sergey Kovalev could not deal with in there with Anthony Yarde. So what he needed to do was remain composed. The last thing that he needed to do was empty the tank. You do not do that in there with a champion at the level of Sergey Kovalev, no matter what version it is, whether it is a version who is over the hill. He will find a way back if a fighter loses their shape trying to get rid of him. That is what happened, and he did find a way back. So it was down to a lack of experience with Anthony Yarde, but not just that, his corner as well, which is dangerous because Anthony Yarde cannot wait for Tunde to learn. He cannot wait for his corner to improve alongside him because he is, 27, 28 now? He's not old, by no means of the imagination, but still, he needs to make sure he is winning these kinds of fights. Like Lyndon Arthur, that was a fight he could have won, because if he would have found ways to get beyond that jab, to find ways around it, to navigate those punches, he's in there with a taller guy who knows how to utilise his physical advantages. Lyndon Arthur done that brilliantly on that night. And let's be real, Lyndon Arthur wasn't throwing much else other than that jab, so if Anthony Yarde was able to take it that away, he takes away all of the success of his opponent. Now, that's easier said than done. It was a fast, sharp jab, coming from a guy who has those physical advantages over him, but if he moves his head a lot more, if he finds a way under that jab as well and goes to the body, if he counters it also, I mean, Anthony Yarde can pull the jab, we've seen him do that many times before. I mean, it is a fast, quick jab, so it's hard to get out of the way, but if he makes it a more difficult target to hit, then Lyndon Arthur won't have the same kind of success. Anthony Yarde did not show enough in that fight with Lyndon Arthur, and it was a jab that kept him at range the whole night. That is what dictated the distance and the pace of the fight, until that 12th round when he closed the distance, proving that he can do it, but again, he done it too late. So it is there, shades of what Anthony Yarde can do. He's never put it together in a performance against a top level opponent just yet. Hopefully we will see that going forwards, whether he stays with Tunde or moves on. I think that things do need to change. Someone else needs to be added to that team. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe Anthony Yarde should move on or stay with Tunde? Maybe even there's a third option, bringing new people in to help out. Guys, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.